Welcome to Stage Garden Rumba, an open invitation for all of New Yorkers to witness the green spaces of the Bronx. Today we are at Crotona Park at the Amphitheater, where we are going to present poetry, music, theater, and activism. Today also happens to be September 11th, 20 years after the tragic day that shook the world. I want to acknowledge all of those that lost their lives and for all of those that have never forgotten. So here we are. Welcome to Stage Garden Rumba. Today we are so lucky to have DJ DeLaCeiba, a Hondureño from South Central LA, doing his thing here in the Bronx, spinning the music for us. He's not only a DJ though, he's an activist, he's an MC, a poet, a father, and a husband. He just brings all the good music for us. DJ DeLaCeiba. So our first performer on the poetry tip, he's not just a poet, he's actually a musician that I witnessed on the online open mics at the New York Poets Cafe. He came all the way from Seattle today, and he is a natural performer all of his life with a real sensibility for humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, Joeski C.
Ya da 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 da. Rooftop philosophy, communication, and you and me. This ain't the way things got to be. How'd things get to be this way? Ya da 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 da. I see you working hard, all right. So the kids got a roof tonight. Food on the table, electric lights, burdens of living. You know the rich, they still want more. Hear the knock upon your door. They're gonna multiply the poor. Chains unforgiving, searching for light, searching for feelings of right, searching for places in faces in flight. Ya da 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 da. You know this life's a crazy place, billion colors, all one race. And tell me why there's so much hate, burdens of living. You know the rich, they still want more. Hear the knock upon your door. They're gonna multiply the poor. Chains unforgiving, searching for light, searching for feelings of right. All through the long night, please hold me tight. Ya da 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 da. And will we walk till we can fly? Finally see when we close our eyes. We learn to live so we can die. Chains unforgiving, rooftop philosophy, communication, and you and me. This ain't the way things got to be. How'd things get to be this way.
Stage Garden Rumba would have no rumba without the live musicians. And our first performer is bringing Cuban, Puerto Rican, Caribbean songs with his Cuarteto Guataca. Ladies and gentlemen, Jainardo Batista.
Ay, cráneo en ti, ay, cráneo en mí, ay, cráneo en ti, ay, cráneo en mí. Yo estoy de acuerdo, tú tienes que estar. Tú eres la felicidad y por eso yo contigo de acuerdo estoy. Y por eso yo contigo de acuerdo estoy. Ay, cráneo, puchuca, ay, cráneo, mi corazón. Vaya, zapa, 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 ay, cráneo en ti, puchuca, ay, cráneo en mí. Oye, tú sabes mi cosa buena, que de parte mía hay cráneo para ti. Ay, cráneo en ti, puchuca, ay, cráneo en mí. Por la mañana me levantaría a hacerte café si tú desayuno a ti. Ay, cráneo en ti, puchuca, ay, cráneo en mí. Cosa buena, no te me escondas, que tú sabes que mi cráneo es solo para ti. Ay, cráneo en ti, puchuca, ay, cráneo en mí. Cráneo, cráneo, aquí hay de sobra. Oye, tú lo sabes, mami, que es así. Ay, cráneo en ti, puchuca, ay, cráneo en mí. Sara, 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 Sara. Sara, 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 Zaparaba, Sara, 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 Zaparaba,
And now our first activist is someone who's been advocating for the closing of the Rikers Detention Center, someone that is a public health advocate as well as an activist. Ladies and gentlemen, Marilyn Reyes.
Most of my work is done in criminal justice reform and harm reduction. Harm reduction is meeting someone where they're at, right? It's that simple. It does not condone, endorse drug use or sex work. All it does is help people stay healthy and alive and give them choices and love, lots of love. Now, what I do in New York City is I work for the Relay Project. I meet someone in the ER when they experience an overdose. They just had a life and death experience. And what I do is I engage them, I help them for 90 days, and I link them to whatever services they want. It's all from a harm reduction perspective. They're the drivers, I'm just the passenger assisting them through their journey. But I also want to talk about the Bronx burning, right? I remember the pain, the sadness in everyone. I want to read to you some stuff that I wrote. And it is, I'm going to start by speaking about the 1970s when the Bronx was burning. The Bronx was not just burning, it was set ablaze by greedy landlords, corporations, and politicians. Some examples of this are fire stations closing in poor communities of the Bronx, landlords paying individuals to set fires and burn down the buildings so they could collect on insurance. Politicians, through redlining, rezoning, politicians continue to force communities of colors to remain in areas with poor schools, health disparities, lack of jobs, and many other issues. All that was done then was done by design, just like a flower growing through the concrete. Many of us have grown through all adversity that was placed before us. Through this time, people began organizing and mobilizing. Then, the birth of hip hop, the rise of the Young Lords and Black Panthers, among others, that stood for unity and a better way in our communities. Then came the politicians, again, making promises and not keeping them, not investing in our humanity, not treating us as human beings or equals. Now look at us. We are still fighting for our lives. We are up against the same landlords, corporations, and politicians, even if they use different names. In the midst of a worldwide pandemic, COVID-19, we are dealing with something that many don't want to talk about. It's called the overdose rates in the Bronx. If the Bronx was a state, we would be number 2 in the nation. So many wonder, why am I talking about overdose? We've always been in the overdose pandemic in the Bronx. Let's be realistic. When the teacher asked you in 2nd grade, what do you want to be when you grow up? No one said that they want to be homeless, a drug user, or an alcoholic, or anything of that nature. Real life happens. We as a society must address our social and economic issues as homelessness, jobs, education. I myself, as a harm reductionist, want you to understand that every overdose death are preventable. But more than that, they are someone's loved one. They are someone's mother, someone's father, someone's child, someone's community member. Just like that homeless person in the corner is a community member. That's their home. I gotta say, we must continue to organize and mobilize and continue to fight for our community. We have come together as a community where all life matters and we are stronger together. The Bronx was burning and it rose from the ashes like a phoenix. And I just want to leave you with this. When you meet someone from the Bronx or anywhere, and they're a drug user or sex worker or have history with incarceration, please greet them with love, dignity, respect, and compassion, and always lead with love. Thank you.
Join our spirited return to in-person shows as Pregones PRTT presents Torched, a new musical theater journey through the Bronx fires of the 70s and the infamous arson for profit racket, December 2nd through the 19th at Pregones Theater in the Bronx.
Now our second poet is someone that I also met on the online open mic here from the Boogie Down Bronx. Bilingual, gender fluid, show some love for the spiritual conscious, Iris Morales, AKA I Am.
Title of the poem is called End of Days. It's a sunny Tuesday. My mind hasn't processed what just happened. Didn't even notice the birds weren't chirping. It's too quiet. My house is 2 blocks from school. Angel's parents picks him up, which they never do. The Capicú table is vacant on the corner of Honeywell Ave, where Quisqueya and Borinque usually play. My building, the only one with a red door, always reminds me of lamb's blood. Hopefully, we've been faithful enough. I skip steps 1, 3, 5, 7 towards the front door. Insert the key, turn. The hallway seemed longer than usual. Mom, frozen, a pillar of salt. The density in our home, unnerving. That's when I see on TV. The towers in flames, people are flying. Where are the Avengers when we need them? The South Tower spews thick confetti. An avalanche covers the city of questions, despair, threat, and death. Mom says it has begun, the grand tribulation, the end of days.
For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Caridad de la Luz, and I'm a poet, better known as La Bruja. And I have had the honor of hosting Stage Garden Rumba, and not just hosting, but I've been invited to curate the poetry portions and to perform my own poetry. And 9/11 has had a huge impact in my life. And today I will definitely share some of my poems about 9/11 and its impact on our community.
And now I'll do my poem dedicated to 9/11 that I was able to do on Def Poetry Jam. And they didn't want me to do this poem. You know, they wanted me to do the Lola poem because it was about, you know, street life and all of that. And I was like, no, I want to do WTC. And they said, if you don't do the Lola poem, you're not going to make the cut. So if you see the performance, I do Lola into WTC. And this is acronym poetry. WTC, World Trade Center. What's the cause? Work to change, wish to connect, want to cry, watch them climb, watch towers crash, wishes turn cloudy, whispered to Christ, watch the children, wish time could wash this clean, witness the corruption, war that conquers, W targets countries, white torn cloth, wrists turn cold, worthless to cooperate, watching them corroborate, wounds to clean, working to counterbalance, winding the clock. Wife tries cooking, washing the clothing, working the corner, writing to courts, while wishing the children, wanting to create worlds to cradle, want to cover, wrong to cry. Wisdom takes crossroads, and warriors think consciously, waiting to contact witches turned counselors. WTC. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
And now for our next poet is someone who's been my friend for decades now. We were both in a documentary called Hip Hop Hope about the effects of 9/11 on hip hop. He's an advocate for bettering fathers and their role in the community, and he's just a tremendous MC. Ladies and gentlemen, Dyverse the First.
Peace, what's up, world? My name is Dyverse the First, and this piece is my verse from the WTC song I did with La Bruja. Here we go. It goes an eye for an eye, a you for a you. A lot of people died, it's things we all going through. Imagine how many people was just walking through, so oblivious to the awful that the shit could fall on you. They say return to normal. We going to war, man, what's wrong with you? Better what you gonna do? You was so gangster, right? But those PLO store cats was DLO war rats, and the horror changed your life. 222 flights, in 18 minutes, 2,000 or so lights extinguished for speaking English. The World Trade held the world slave. They only let it fall so they could upgrade the cheese and the maize. Start inquiring. I ache for the firemen and families with wounds in their worlds being ran on TV. Someone conspiring to make me believe. Do some rewiring in me. I'm not Verizon, though, I'm trying to be free.
And now our closing performers are a dynamic duo repping from the Boogie Down Bronx and Washington Heights. Afro-Latino of Dominican and Puerto Rican heritage. They are activists, they are runners, they are ill MCs. They actually were featured in my musical years ago, Boogie Rican Boulevard, so they are no strangers to what it is that we do. Ladies and gentlemen, Patty Dukes and RephStar, AKA Circa 95.
Let's get it one time, make some noise. BX in the building, make some noise.
What's up? ¿Cómo estamos, mi gente? We're out here, we're outside, it's a beautiful day. Thank you for coming out, for being here, and everybody else. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, we're gonna make this pop real quick one time.
Yeah.
DJ DeLaCeiba on the ones and twos, make some noise. Let's drop that.
Come on.
What up? I need y'all put your hands up in the air like this and wave. Here we go. Yeah. BX, what up?
Yeah. You're welcome, I'm here. Patty Dukes has arrived. The realness is here. Doing what I gotta do, baby. No fear. Smiling, profiling. You know that these other chicks is wildin'. Sassy, but I ain't a slug. Cocky, but I ain't stuck up. So, baby, when you see me, you can say what's up. Don't knock me. When my fists are flying, don't stop me. Got nothing to lose. Got nothing to prove. Too poor to care about
Excessive living.
Showing up once a year.
Only on Thanksgiving.
Whatever. You came right, yeah. Yo, I'm hungry.
All about the munchies.
Gonna eat it all. My people need opportunities. Some go to war. Been smart. No one gets points for having good hearts.
Egos are plenty.
Yeah, fridges is empty. Pop died, mom's feeling.
So what's the meaning? Let them know.
Hey, yo, I live it. I love it. I love it a lot.
Say what? Say circa 95.
Hey, yo, I live it. I love it.
We
I love
waving.
it a lot.
Say what? Say circa 95.
Hey, yo, I live it. I love it. I love it a lot.
Say what? Say circa 95.
Yo, I live it. I love it. I love it a lot. I said we keep the music going. It ain't never gonna stop.
You spit it, I live it. You spit it, so pass it and pivot or pivot and pass. Never throw no rocks when you living in glass. If you talking, you nice. Well, I'm talking, you trash. Welcome to the rat race, where we chasing that cash and chasing the check. Never chasing respect. You either got it or don't. You either get it or won't. Specialize in making something for nothing. Get it in while others is front. Oh, you ain't had enough? Well, it just your last in the picture while I hit you with live. Lyrical scriptures on the rise like the tide. No one is quicker, sicker, it figures. It's a New York City slicker thing with the king. No job, ducking that teddy, we ready to die, we ready to live. Something gotta give, cause I plan on making it big. You know what it is. Roll with the kid. Hey yo, I live it.
I love it.
I love it a lot.
Say
circa 95.
Hey yo, I live it. I love it. I love it a lot.
Say what? Circa 95.
Hey yo, I live it. I love it. I love it a lot.
Say what? Circa 95.
Hey yo, I live it. I love it. I love it a lot. I said we keep
the music going, it ain't never gonna stop. Yeah. Said we keep the music going.
keep the music going.
Here we go. We in the building.
People praying in front of their buildings every Thursday night. Praying Dios mío, protege mi edificio, because mañana is Friday. Where were you?
Can you hear me?
Where were you?
Over here, over here, over here, over here, over here.
Were you there? Where were you?
They were out in the cold. Where were you?
Where was I? I wasn't born yet. Ah, but I've heard that landlords would pay arsonists that would drag desperate kids to do their filthy work. I've heard that banks drew red lines around the areas they wouldn't lend to. And the South Bronx was on the wrong side of the line, the wrong zip code, the wrong color.
Linda, the reporter, arrives at Tito's bodega. She's determined to learn what's really going on. Tito is showing her around.
Almost everyone has moved out.
But some have decided to stay.
No, some people had no choice but to stay. They had no place to go.
But you decided to stay.
Yeah.
Why?
This is the boogie down. This is the Bronx. This is where I was born and raised. Look at where we are. Listen to the music. There ain't no place like this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard you.
See that window over there? And that lady waving at us. Her 3 sons have gone a long time ago. But she holds her head up high each and every day.
Each and every day.
Every day.
Each and every day.
Every day.
Each and every day. Each and every day.
Struggling every day, her smile never fades in public anyway. And Domingo over there, he will shine your shoes, wipe away your blues, make them look so shiny. With such precision like a mirror, with a mirror on my shoes. What in the world's the Bronx to do?
Each and every day.
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 By day, by day, by day.
Gabriel Chacarri, de Caracas, Venezuela.